I know you 107 pilots out there is going to be boring, but everybody has to go through it because we have to sign you off. If you have not filed for airspace clearance at this point, you cannot fly here without it. If you don't know how to do it, get with somebody, one of the staff here. We'll show you how to do it. We're using air maps. If you're doing Kitty Hawk, doesn't matter. But if you don't have a way to file for air clearance, air map, okay? And we'll show you how to do it. It's just a matter of downloading the app and putting your information in there, and you're good to go. It'll help you file the air clearance. Everybody understand that? Because when you're done filing it, before we can give you your pilot's badge, we have to see your clearance. They will send you a text message on your phone that you've been filed.
Talk closer to me.
Huh?
Talk closer to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you have to show us, when you come to pick up your flight badge, you have to show us your clearance. Everybody understand that? Okay, anybody that takes a drone out of here or takes the drone off without that badge on, I'm the team captain. I have total control of this thing. I got the insurance policy on it. I will ground you in a minute with no questions asked. You need that badge. Okay, all right. I'm going to use my checklist that I use for my drones. Been using it for 3 years. It's electronic. We are now pilots, and we're occupying airspace. I'm a retired pilot, and 40 years ago, 38 years ago, I got my pilot ticket. And from that point on, through parachuting, flying, drones, everything is based on safety, 100%. And today is, we can't afford an accident. So, what I've done, I'm going to sit down so I can go through this. Can everybody see this screen? It's electronic. It's designed for those guys right there, so it's very extensive. There's some things I'm not going to go through. Has anybody today checked for weather? Winds.
Right now?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know right now.
On the ground, it's probably about 3 knots.
Yeah.
But where are we flying?
We're about maximum 200.
There you go. So we're not worried about the winds on the ground, we're worried about the winds of the loft. Okay, and they can change 20, 25 mile an hour just in a matter of 200 feet. They're called winds of the loft. So we gotta, there's an app, and I'll get to it. It's called UAV. It gives you weather, and you can set it for the altitude that you're going to be flying at, and it'll give you the wind direction and the speed before you take off. So you know what you're going to be dealing with when you get up to flight altitude. All right. The reason why I use this app, can everybody see this okay?
Yes.
Okay. It's electronic. The first thing you want to check is make sure your aircraft and remote controller RC batteries are fully charged. This is called a pre-flight check, and it's extensive. Your first pre-flight check should be absolutely 100% effective and thorough, because there's no change in your mind once you get up there. So when I check and see if, can you see it turn green? Everybody see it turn green? What happens, hold on. Make sure your tablet's fully charged. Like I said, this is redundant for you guys at 107s, but it's something everybody has to get in a habit of. And I'm going back to my fixed wing pilot days. If I fly from here to Albuquerque, but I'm on my way up to Rio Doso, and I land in Albuquerque just because I have to go to the bathroom. And I shut everything down, I jump out of the plane, go to the bathroom, get back in the plane. The first thing I do, or any pilot, not just me, any pilot, goes through a full pre-flight check. They turn the key on and watch everything light up and make sure everything's functioning. They start the engines, they do all the calibrations and everything, compass and everything. They head down the runway, or the taxiway, get in what they call the run-up area. They go through a total pre-flight check. And guess what they got in their hand while they're doing it? A checklist. You can't leave anything to chance. And we are now part of the aviation industry. We need to get into those safety habits. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. Someday you're going to thank me for that information, because if that thing falls out of the sky, you're going to say, boy, I always should have checked that first. Okay? You don't want to be that guy. Now, Is your firmware on your drone up to date? Fully up to date? You need to check it. When's the last time you checked your IMU? What's the most common reason for a flyaway? Anybody deal with it yet? Okay. Does anybody know what the KP index is today? 3. It's right in the middle. It's not high, it's not low, but it's right in the middle. However, if you don't check your IMU and your compass, and I'm going to give you a little bit more information about the compass also, you could lose contact with that drone. It's different than having a monitor go black and it turns around and comes home. If it loses contact through the IMU or your compass, it's a good possibility that drone could take off. You need to know what your contingency plan is if you lose contact with that drone. First thing you're going to do is you're going to yell, knock it off, okay? That's basically universal speech for search and rescue. When somebody says knock it off, everybody lets go of the sticks and they stop. Because if there's a flyaway, everybody has to get involved and get an eye on it. If we have just a disconnect, it usually comes home. But if, I need my water. Get all these lit up here. I'm just going to check them off. They all green, so we got that far. Now, every time you take your drone and you put it in your car and you go to an area to fly, what I know a lot of people don't calibrate their compass on their drone maybe once every 90 days or whenever they feel like it. If you move your drone from your house to Red Sands, I'm only suggesting do a compass calibration, because I'll tell you why. Right, hold that. We have in the United States what we call magnetic deviation lines. It's here, there's one here, there's one over here. If you move between this line here and over here, which is 50 miles, your compass is going to have a different reading because of deviation of the magnetic heading. As pilots, we're doing a cross-country trip or any trip, we have to calibrate that into our flight plan. Okay? We need to do the same thing, because if we have a flyaway or you get disconnected and you haven't calibrated your compass, that drone doesn't know where it's at. It's working off the compass heading it had when you was at home. Does this make sense to everybody? This is the main reason we have flyaways. It doesn't know where it's at, and it just decides to go where it wants to. Always, always, always. If you move your drone, go to the next stop, calibrate it. It takes five seconds. Calibrate your drone. All right.
Don't forget about like the altitude and set for your flight.
Okay, I got it. Yeah. Okay. We're going to,
Closer, Mike.
our altitude today, we're going to allow you 200 feet. That's 60 meters. We want you to stay below 125, 150 with that range. We're giving you 200 in case you have a problem and you need to get some altitude, like a bird chasing you. Set your return to home probably 60 feet. All we have is these right here. 60 feet will get you across most of these power lines. But you need to set them there. This is a demonstration of drones. We don't care how far they can fly. We don't care how high they can fly. But we need to get those set before you take off. Am I missing anything?
I think you captured everything.
Okay, that's just about it, guys. I want a safe day, have a good time.
Also, watch your radius as well.
Yeah, we're within this park.
Yeah.
Thanks. We're in the park only. This is what we have clearance for. I have it set for a quarter mile only because that's what it will take on the thing. But we want to stay within the park.